Let's get into the United States of America and what's happening over there with Biden. Biden. Shout out to Biden. Yeah. Woo! Woo! Shout out to Biden. Did y'all know that the U.S. has already stepped up in supporting and making sure that they're funding and sending weapons and money and aid over to support what's going on between Israel and Hamas? No, say it ain't so. Did y'all know that we did a whole show yesterday breaking down how Congress has already started investing in war stocks? No, that can't be true. Did y'all know that I also broke down how well over a year and a half ago, before the Ukraine war had already broke out, that Congress had already started investing, members of Congress had already started investing in war stocks? No, say it ain't so. Wait a minute. You telling me that our president and our Congress and our legislative branches are quick to mobilize and fund and sending weapons over into support and leveraging our military, which we fund with an incredible amount of money every single year, in order to support their allies over in another country, but we can't even secure our own borders? Don't worry about it. Let's talk about it. Make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. If you have not tapped into the Patreon, link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat.
President Biden reiterated U.S. support of Israel, vowing to continue sending military assistance. The president and members of his administration spoke with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu Tuesday from the Situation Room.
If that's not a photo op right there, I don't know what is. Is that not the most perfect photo op that you guys have ever seen in your entire life? Taken at an angle in the Situation Room, making sure that they address what is going on with all of their devices and their name tags is perfectly placed on the table, and they're having a conversation about how it is that they can solve for what is going on over there in order to make sure that we get things under control, and we don't want anybody interfering in what's going on between Israel and Hamas.
CBS News senior White House and political correspondent Ed O'Keefe has the latest.
This was an act of sheer evil.
President Biden condemned the attacks by Hamas, which he revealed killed at least 14 American citizens, comparing it to the worst rampages of ISIS.
Parents butchered using their bodies to try to protect their children. Women raped, assaulted, paraded as trophies.
He said the U.S. is sending special operators to help Israel coordinate the rescue of more than 100 hostages held by the militant group, including Americans.
We now know that American citizens are among those being held by Hamas.
New militant groups. Say it ain't so. Oh. Don't this make you want to cry because it's like a replay all over again? First it was the Taliban. Then it was ISIS. Then it was the freedom fighters over in Afghanistan. New militant groups are holding people, and so we got a new war on our hands. Make sure that you guys gird up and give all of the money because we have to fund this and see what's going on over there overseas. Oh, Jesus Christ. God, new militant groups. That's happening. All right, hold on. Let's continue.
A carrier strike group, including the USS Gerald Ford, has arrived in the region and could be used as a platform to launch hostage rescue missions. National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan says there are 20 or more Americans still missing, though it's unclear how many have been abducted by Hamas. He said there are no current plans to send U.S. troops into the conflict.
At this point, that is not something that is under planning.
With the fighting ongoing, the president huddled with his national security team this morning and held his third phone call.
Look at Kamala, perfectly in the background. What are we going to do, Biden? What's going on over there? What's the plan of attack? Listen, under no circumstances are we sending American troops over there in order to fight over against the Israel and Hamas war. We just got to make sure that we supply them with everything that they need to continue the war. What's going on, Biden? Now, this is a national security measure. What should we do? What should we do? We got this. Let's get all of our security measures in order to make sure that we take care of business.
Since the conflict began with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu.
Mr. President Joe, I want to thank you for your continued and unequivocal support.
Is this a bad joke? Is this a bad joke? Did they set up their phones? Hold on. I want to thank you for your continued support. Hold on. Camera's off a little bit. Let me get this together. Give me 1 second. I got to make sure that I want to make sure that I thank you for your continued support and what's going on over here. And thank you for continuing to make sure that you support what it is that we're doing in order to ensure that we free the people over here. How many more weapons are you sending?
Offering more military support, including precision-guided munitions for fighter jets. The first shipment of supplies landed this evening. Mr. Biden is also sending...
Wait. Let me rewind that one more time. What did they send over?
More military support, including precision-guided munitions for fighter jets. The first shipment of supplies landed this evening.
Wow.
Mr. Biden is also...
Wonder who makes those.
...sending Secretary of State Antony Blinken to Israel tomorrow, part of a diplomatic push to contain the crisis from spreading further. A major fear among allies that Iranian-backed Hezbollah could fully join the fight. The president today issued this warning.
Anyone thinking of taking advantage of this situation, I have one word: don't.
Oh, that scares me. Listen. If I was a dictator in another country and I seen Biden and Kamala Harris warning me of what it is that I shouldn't do, even though I'm already doing it, and he has a message for me, and they bring this teleprompter over to me and they say, hey, listen, Biden got a message for you. I want you to look at it on this phone because we need to be very, very careful about how we're going to move next. And I hear him talk to me the next time, and he say this, and he gives his message to us, and this is the message that they show on the phone.
Issued this warning.
Anyone thinking of taking advantage of this situation, I have one word: don't.
Don't? What do you mean don't? What does that mean? Jesus Christ. Oh my God. Oh my gosh, Jesus. Oh, you got Cam sitting there in the background. This is so bad. What in the Tubi is this? What in the Tubi is this? Oh, God. Fucking. Jesus. Y'all see why I was thinking about not having a kid? Do y'all see why I was thinking about not having a kid and bringing her into this world? Good God. Listen to this message.
Warning.
Anyone thinking of taking advantage of this situation, I have one word: don't.
Ed O'Keefe joins us now from the White House. Ed, you mentioned in your piece the USS Gerald Ford Carrier Strike Group arrived in the Mediterranean on Tuesday. Help us understand here what that is and its purpose.
The most advanced aircraft carrier in the U.S. naval fleet. It was sent to the region, U.S. officials say, not in response to Hamas so much as to deter others, Iran, Syria, Hezbollah, other actors or organizations from getting involved, sending an unmistakable signal. If you try to intensify or expand this conflict, the United States stands ready. But what CBS News has learned from current and former U.S. officials is that the aircraft carrier is most likely set to be a staging ground for operations that could potentially help extract hostages from the from the grip of Hamas, essentially. No plans, as we said in our report, but worth reiterating here, no plans as of tonight for any U.S. troops to enter the conflict there on the ground.
No plans for that, but Ed, there's been a lot of talk about this. Are there limits to what the U.S. is going to be able to do to help Israel right now if the House doesn't have a Speaker of the House?
That's a good question. Remember, the House and Senate essentially are out of session this week because of the Columbus Day holiday. The Senate.
The House is out of session this week because of the Columbus holiday. Everybody else went to work yesterday. On Monday. Everybody was fucking. I love my country. I really do. I just don't understand what's going on. We see it happening right in front of our face, and we just be like, "Yep, we're gonna still roll with it." Listen, I don't have any doubt in my mind that it's a possibility that he could win the next election. Don't y'all know that most of the time it always just happen to be just some weird coincidence that whenever a Democrat is in office, we start to face another war? Or whenever somebody is becoming an incumbent, some disaster happens? Man, I don't believe anything that I see online anymore. I just got to take it at face value, use my context clues from what happened in history, and see if Biden scares me by saying don't, man. This is becoming so. If y'all not making money off of this, if y'all not researching the different companies that you need to invest in as a result of what's going over here, then that's all I could tell you. But this is such a bad movie. This is such a bad script. Such a bad script. And nobody is going for it, but everybody is going for it at the same time. Good God almighty.